All right, it looks like we are live now. Forgive me on this first live stream if things are a little rough, but we should be technically pretty sound. I did some tests, but if not, forgive me. This is one of my first live streams in a little while. But if everything continues to go well, I might do some more of these in the evenings and in the nights, just because I enjoy making YouTube videos and I feel pretty caught up in the news, and I want to share my perspectives on different things that are happening and different stocks that I find fun to learn about, fun to research about, maybe some other insights. So if you guys enjoy it, consider leaving a like, comment, and let's go ahead and dive into futures, what's going on in the world, some things that I'm doing in some trades and some stocks that I'm looking at. And yeah, I just want to share my perspective with you guys, and hopefully you guys enjoy the same. So futures, I believe, have opened up. Today is Juneteenth, so there wasn't any trading going on today. But I wanted to go ahead and look at the futures. So let me go ahead and pop up my screen here really quick. Go ahead and share this tab with you guys. So the futures, as you guys can tell, right now we're open, our implied open. We're not looking too hot tomorrow, but futures can shift on a dime. So like, I'm not going to put too much weight into this. The Dow you have down 28 bips, S&P 19 bips, and then you have your NASDAQ down 15 bips. Obviously, this is probably a lot of the tensions with what's going on in the Middle East right now. But we'll see. We had Trump talk about 2 more weeks, so we'll see how that goes. But I had some stuff that I want to chat about with you guys today, and dive into some companies that I think are interesting and some just different topics. So let me go ahead and open up a couple of things really quick. If you have questions, feel free to put them in the chat, and be happy to chat with you guys. So let me see here. Let's see what's going on out there. So something that I wanted to go through was Lennar just had earnings, I believe. I want to go through Lennar's numbers. I love looking at home builders and the real estate companies. Lennar, let me see, Lennar stock. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at Lennar stock really quick, and then we can dive into their earnings call as well as some of their financials and my take on them. I know that might be kind of boring for people, but I think financials, you can learn a lot about a company and apply different things to your business, your personal life, just by reading the earnings calls of the company. So let me go ahead and share. This is Lennar. They're a home builder. Let me just see if you just like search Lennar Images, that's their logo. They're a home builder. So that they're pretty well established home builder. So Lennar is trading at a $27 billion market cap. They're giving an almost 2% dividend. They're trading for a normal 7.5 PE ratio. They've had a pretty rough year. Obviously, interest rates with these home builders are pretty brutal, but you're going to see how much money these companies still can make. Over the past 5 years, they're up 85%. And like I said, this company's been around since they went public in 1985, and splits adjusted, they were trading for 9 cents, and now they're trading for $103 a share, which is incredible. They had a 52-week high of $200 a share, but now they're at 103. So with tariffs, a lot of times your imports are more expensive. Oh, I apologize, I wasn't sharing my screen. A lot of times with imports, you're going to pay the tariff prices on those imports, so that tends to hit these companies, and they have to do higher incentives, the higher rates to stay. So I thought that was really interesting. Let me go ahead and pull up their last financials really quick. Let me pull up Lennar Investor Relations. Okay. So let's see what we've got here. Let's see if they have them up. They should. Financials, SEC filings. Let's see. All forms. Let's do quarterly reports. Let's search. Let's see. That's April 4th. I thought they just had earnings. Maybe I was mistaken. Or maybe they're not out yet. Maybe they had them yesterday. Yeah, it looks like their 10Q is April 4th, April, May, June. Who just reported earnings? I can't remember exactly. All right. Well, Lennar Q1 or 2025 earnings. June 17th. It was Q2. So they should have had that. Let me see. Let me see why we don't see their earnings. Let's see here. Yeah, they had them on June 17th. Let me see if they have the financials here. I might just have to go to sec.gov really quick. Let me go to sec.gov. sec.gov. Let's see. Lennar Lennar. Okay, let's see if they have them here. No, they don't. Okay, wow. Well, I guess we're not going to look at Lennar. That's fine though. Okay, let's go ahead and see what's going on with Tesla today. Let me pull up Tesla. Let's see what's going on. Let's take a look here. Okay. Okay, let's talk about this Tesla lawmakers. Tesla Roddy posted this article, and I want to kind of dive into it and exactly learn for myself what's going on and share with you guys exactly what's going on with Tesla. Because they're supposed to be launching their robo taxis on June 22nd, which is in just a few days. But now they're telling them to delay until September unless Tesla participates. Let's go ahead and dive into exactly what's going on. So, if we, as you can see from this article here, it says the headline says that they want the lawmakers in Texas want Tesla to delay their robotaxi launch just until September. A group of Democratic lawmakers from Austin is asking Tesla to postpone its planned robotaxi rollout at least until September. A new state law governing autonomous vehicles takes effect in September. The letter, which was sent Wednesday, urges Tesla to delay its initial robotaxi launch in the interest of public safety. So they formally asked Tesla to delay until September 1st, unless, but they specifically say the lawmakers noted that if Tesla wishes to push through its planned June 22nd launch, the company must provide detailed information explaining the robotaxi's initial service, which actually would be fascinating to kind of see Tesla's plan if they do cooperate. You had Gary Black kind of dive into this. Let me see what Gary Black's saying. Yeah, there's not. It's pretty self-explanatory. We don't know if Tesla's going to participate in this yet. I hope they do because I don't really want them to delay. But honestly, in the grand scheme of things, if they have to delay, it's not the end of the world. Let's go back to this article. So the new rules. I'm trying to see what the new rules would be. No. Yeah, there's not really a ton out about this. We just know that Texas is like, hey, you guys can continue to do your June 22nd thing, but you have to tell us exactly what's going to happen, which is honestly, from a regulator's perspective, fair. Just because Tesla's headquarters is in Austin doesn't mean they own Austin. So from a regulatory perspective, fair. Hopefully Tesla plays ball with them and that they can sign off on these new rules and they can launch September 22nd. If not, honestly, it's not that far away. June 22nd, September 1st isn't that far away, but still, it would be nice to kind of see Tesla play ball a little bit with the regulators. So there's this, let's talk a little bit of news now. So this is one of my favorite posters in terms of real-time information with what's happening. Let's see what's happening. Israel hopes the United States will join in a joint operation to destroy the nuclear facility, but they did also say that, oh no, oh wait, non-combat related incidents. Oh no, there was two deaths, I believe U.S. personnel. Wow. I wonder how they passed away. What the heck? That's crazy. Yeah, it's not publicly available yet. Wow, that's very sad. Hopefully I mean, obviously it's sad that they passed away, but hopefully there wasn't any kind of like, hopefully it wasn't, there wasn't kind of like an opponent involved. I don't know. Sometimes a lot of times deaths in the military happen due to training. So that could have been something as these tensions have been revving up in the Middle East, they'll probably train more and more and accidents do happen. So it's unfortunate to see that. Okay, so you have strikes going on still. You had Israel issued another evacuation order, and Iran continues to bomb. It's just terrible. You had a hospital bombed yesterday, which is super sad. Australia is now evacuating its citizens from the Iranian embassy, which, I mean, people probably should be. I mean, it's not a surprise. Wow. So this is what happened after a recent. This is Iran's Boeing 707 refueler after it was struck by Israel. So Israel just blew up a plane. That's great. Those are crazy images to see. Let's see what else is going on. There was one that surprised me. Okay, let me see. So the White House stated definitively during a press briefing on Thursday that Iran now has all it needs to produce a nuclear weapon in a couple of weeks. Once given the go ahead from Iranian Supreme Leader Al Qam, I don't know how to say that, from AK, which they state would, of course, pose an existential threat not just to Israel but the United States and the entire world. So obviously, some pretty scary stuff going on here. I'm trying to see. There was another one that there's been like a lot of debate going on about the bunker buster bombs and exactly how effective they're going to be because of how precise these need to be. The White House officials told Fox that the U.S. Air Force has no doubt the efficiency of these bunker buster bombs in eliminating the Fordo fuel enrichment plant to the south of Tehran, which is also while also denying that any options have been taken off the table. So the White House are basically covering themselves, saying like, "Oh no, our weapons are the best. They're going to take care of what they need to take care of." Obviously, there is still complexity with any kind of strike like that. Um, and I'm trying to see. There was one that I thought was super fascinating. Let me see here. So the president, obviously, you guys have probably heard by now, the president said that they'll make a decision in 2 weeks, which I don't know if he's going to have that much time, especially if it's like they have weeks until they have a nuclear missile ready. 2 weeks sounds kind of crazy. Okay, so that's pretty much getting caught up on the war up until today. So let me know what you guys think, or if you guys have any questions or thoughts around that. Okay, let's keep diving in with what's going on in the news. We'll hop on over to see what CNBC is saying here in just a minute. Um, let's see. It's kind of a slow news day just because the market's not open, but that's fine. Okay, let's hop on over. Oh yeah, this was an interesting take from Trump. Donald Trump says that there are too many non-working holidays in America. It's costing our country billions of dollars to keep all of these businesses closed. These workers don't want it. Want to. These workers don't want it either. Soon we'll end up having a holiday for everyone, for every once working day of the year. Um, it must change if we're going to make America great again. So I thought that was just a funny take from Donald Trump. You had this massive password leak from Forbes, which is really interesting. So apparently, 16 billion Apple, Facebook, Google, and other passwords were leaked. Let's see if there's any other information behind this Forbes article. Let me go ahead and pull it up. Okay, let's see here. That's a ton of ads. Let's see if I can remove that. Wow, I can't see anything with all these ads. Let's see. Okay, let's go Forbes password leak. Okay, let's see. Okay, so okay, no thanks. Can I still read the article? Okay, we can read the article with ads. It looks like. Okay, there we go. Okay. Okay, let's dive into the 16 billion Apple, Facebook, Google passwords that were leaked. This is pretty crazy coming out from Forbes. Okay, so Forbes is saying that there were 16 billion passwords leaked. Let's go ahead and dive into exactly what happened. The story is still ongoing, but I kind of want to get the details because, I mean, this affects almost everybody watching this video. Okay, so if you thought that the May 23rd report confirming the leak of the login data was 184 million, that was frightening. I hope you were sitting down now. Researchers have just confirmed what is almost certainly the largest data breach ever, with almost an incredulous 16 billion login credentials, including passwords, exposed. As part of an ongoing investigation that started at the beginning of the year, the researchers have postulated that the massive password leak is the work of multiple info stealers. I've never seen that word before. Info stealers. Here's what you need to know and do. Okay, so I mean, obviously, the first thing would probably be change your passwords, but let's go ahead and dive into what's going on here. Password compromises is no joke. I just want to see how. How. Okay, Google is telling people to use passkeys. I'm a big fan of passkeys. Passkeys are awesome. Don't click on links and text. Yeah, the text message phishing stuff is getting crazy. Like I had a fake DMV one the other day. That was pretty nuts. I'm just trying to see where, I just want to see where these are coming from. Not 100% sure yet. Yeah. So just don't click on links. Trying to see where it came from. Okay, they're pretty much just trying to give you like online security stuff, but I don't know. It's crazy. I don't know why there's so many. I don't know how this happened, and it looks like this is from a report from last year, which is crazy. Okay, so let's keep going with what we can find. Let's see here. All right, let's see what we can find. So let's see. Let's see what CNBC is talking about. CNBC. Okay. Okay. Let's see here. So we saw the SpaceX rocket explode. I'm sure you guys have all seen that. We can dive into the story about Mark Zuckerberg. Trump extended the TikTok ban another 90 days. That's fine. It's just down to happen. Okay, let's see what they're saying about futures. Okay, futures, we know they're down. Investors remain jittery, of course. It's probably going to be like that for a while, but the stock market usually dismisses stuff like that. Um, and I don't think the White House is going to telegraph like, oh yeah, we're gonna like if they said today's the day they're going to decide they're not going to say, oh yeah, Wednesday we're going to drop a bomb. Like that's just not smart intelligence from my end. I don't think Fox News would be the first people like, yeah, we're going to go bomb these people on Thursday. So something to consider. Oh, let's go check out oil. Let's go see what oil is doing. That's a pretty good indicator of how serious things are getting. So you're at oil's at so you have Brent at $77 a barrel, and then you have oil at $76 a barrel. Fine. It hasn't gone too crazy. So let's see. Let's see if I can go to the week chart. I'll share it with you guys here. I know you guys can see the screen. Okay, so let's see. Okay, let me share this with you guys. Let's share this tab. Boom. Okay, cool. So right here we have our oil. You saw it. So let's go to the week chart so that you guys can see. Okay, let's make sure this is on the week. It's the month. So the month, obviously, you can see relatively chill until things started ramping up with Iran and Israel. So you can see that it's remained fairly elevated all week. Right now, let's go to the day one so we can see exactly where we are. We've come a little bit off all-time highs. I mean, highs of the week of oil, which is nice. Let's put it in perspective of when Ukraine and okay, so when Ukraine and Russia started going, it hit 120 a barrel, which is just it's not good for inflation at all. But oil could still move up substantially if things ramped up, which it's pretty crazy actually that it's not as high as I thought it should. I thought it would have gone, but that's fine. Okay, so let me go back here really quick and see what else we can learn about what's going to happen tomorrow. Let's go ahead and look at. I don't think there's anybody reporting earnings tomorrow, but we can go ahead and take a look. Um, oh yeah, you had Trump go into Powell today. Let's go to the Trump's Truth Social post. That was funny. Um, let's see. Let me pull that up. Okay. Let's see. Trump Truth Social. Okay. So let's see. Let's see. So we talked about the non-working thing. Let's see. Where is hmm. He talked about Powell today. I'll have to find it. Okay, let's see. Hmm. Can't find it. Let me see if I can find it in a bit. Okay, so yeah, Trump obviously going off on Powell saying like, "Hey, Mr. Too Slow." That's fine. He talked a lot about that yesterday. S&P was relatively flat. Okay, here's the post. Okay, let's see. Do they have a screenshot of it or do they just type it? Yeah, Trump's really upset about how long Powell's keeping rates up, but It's probably good that Powell just doesn't. I mean, the Fed has a mandate, a dual mandate, and they shouldn't be as very involved in politics, which is it's probably a good thing. Let me see. Okay, I want to take a look at this I want to take a look at this Mark Zuckerberg story really quick. Um, so let's figure out. I know this name, but I want to see where it's coming from. Ilya. I don't know how to say it correctly. Ilya. He who did he work for? Oh, he was the former chief scientist at OpenAI. I believe he passed it away. Oh, he just disappeared, I think. Yeah, Ilya left OpenAI, and it looks like Mark Zuckerberg found him. But I wanted to dive into the story. So Meta tried to buy Ilya's AI startup for $32 billion, which is crazy. So let's figure out exactly what's going on. Let me share my screen with you guys so you guys can follow along if you'd like. So Mark Zuckerberg, when Mark Zuckerberg poached Scale AI founder Alexander Wang last week as part of a $14.3 billion investment into his AI startup. He was apparently just getting started. Zuckerberg's multi-billion dollar, sorry, AI is with a billion, not a million, AI hiring spree has now turned Daniel Gross, the CEO of Ilya's startup Safe Superintelligence, and former GitHub CEO Nate Friedman, according to sources. Okay, so I want to go take a look at startup Safe Superintelligence. Let's see if they have anything that we can look at because I want to learn what's going on here. Safe Superintelligence Inc. Okay. We've started the world's first straight shot SSI lab with one goal and one product, a safe superintelligence. I don't know. I don't know if this is an LLM or exactly what they're trying to build, but their website is like here. I'll show you their website. It's basically just like powerhouses in the AI world, and they said, "Hey, we have one goal and one product, a safe superintelligence." What that means, I don't know. Our name, our entire product roadmap, sole focus. So they've raised a ton of money. We approach safety and capabilities in tandem as technical problems to be solved through revolutionary engineering and scientific breakthroughs. Okay. I just don't really know what it is. Our singular focus means no distraction by management, overhead, or product cycles, and our business model means safety, security, and progress are all insulated from short-term commercial pressures. We're an American company with offices in Palo Alto and Tel Aviv, which I wonder how that's doing right now with Tel Aviv, where we have deep roots, and the availability to recruit top technical talent. We're assembling a lean, crack team of the world's best engineers and researchers. So it looks like I don't know if they're trying to compete with OpenAI here. It sounds like it, kind of like it's almost like what Elon wanted OpenAI to be, which Ilya, we know, has kind of all I remember is he disappeared. I don't remember the rest of the story. I remember he just went dark when the OpenAI had a falling out. But I want to finish the rest of the story. So Zuckerberg wanted to hire Daniel Gross, which we saw on this. He signed, so he's one of the executives of this company. I think he was the CEO, if I'm not mistaken. So let's dive back into this article. It's not how Zuckerberg planned for the deal to go down. Okay. Earlier this year, sources say Meta tried to acquire Safe Superintelligence, which was reportedly valued at $32 billion. I don't even know what they're making. I wonder if I can learn more about it so that I can Safe Super, like, what is it? What does it, like, the first question is, what did they do? To focus on developing super intelligent AI agent capable of surpassing human intelligence. Okay. Fine. The CEO is Ilya. Okay. Hopefully I'm saying his name right, Ilya. I think so. That's what I remember. Okay, so like this is a Times article talking about what is SSI, Safe Superintelligence, which is the company that Zuckerberg was looking at acquiring or poaching. We're still getting into the article a little bit. But so they're just wanting to, they keep saying a safe AI agent. So is that privately owned? It raised $1 billion in 2024 at a valuation around $5 billion, which we learned from today's article, the CNBC article, that I think he tried to buy him for $24 billion. In March 2025, the company raised $2 billion at a $30 billion valuation, so already super rich. We read the statement, and Is this all the Times has on them? Yeah. So I don't know if it's like a fancy LLM that very few people have seen, or if it's going to come out as an open competitor, as a competitor to OpenAI, which I mean, very fascinating. Okay. So let's see. So it looks like, okay, let's try this out. Okay. Looks like China is expected to keep key lending rates steady after a May cut. So very similar to our Federal Reserve. I'm trying to see. So it looks like China is expecting to keep its rates the same, which is what we did. Okay, that's fine. Okay, that's just breaking news. Okay, so let's keep going with this story. So they tried to buy it. Meta did, which was reportedly valued at around 32 billion, which is in line with what we are reading. Shortly after leaving Open, who launched a startup shortly after leaving OpenAI. That would be one of the fastest acquisitions, like $0 to $32 billion acquisitions in like less than 24 months. Crazy. It looks like rebuffed Meta's efforts as well as the company's attempt to hire him, who asked not to be named because this information is confidential. Soon after those talks ended, Zuckerberg started negotiating with Gross. The sources say, in addition to his role at Safe Superintelligence, Gross runs a venture capital firm with Friedman called NFDG, which let's take a look at this. It's the same style of the lead rounds of seed investing. So it's just like standard venture capital firm. It's both of their initials combined. Okay, that makes sense. That's why it's called what it is. So both men are joining Meta as part of the transaction and will work on products under Wang, one source has said. Meta, meanwhile, will get a stake in NFDG, according to multiple sources. So let's see. The information was first to report on this. Fine. Okay, Gross and Friedman didn't respond to CNBC's comment. Meta spokesperson said we'll share more about this super intelligence effort and the great people joining us in the coming weeks. Zuckerberg's aggressive hiring tactics escalate an AI talent war, which I've heard Elon referencing. Okay, so this is fascinating. So last week, Meta agreed to pump $14.3 billion into Scale.ai to bring on Wang and a few other top engineers while getting a 49% stake in the startup. Altman said that Meta has been trying to lure OpenAI employees, offering signing bonuses as high as $100 million with even larger annual compensation packages. That's insane. Like like right now, like if you want to see where the money is, like as if you're looking to like get into work, like it's almost, I don't want to say it's too late, but becoming technical and becoming extremely well versed in AI, however, whatever these companies are looking for, it is a hot commodity. I mean, $100 million signing bonus, that's absolutely crazy. I've heard Meta thinks of us as their biggest competitor. Altman said on the podcast. That's funny because I think that's actually more of a diss to Elon Musk, because he's like, Zuckerberg thinks that we, OpenAI, are way bigger of a competitor than XAI. So I think that's funny. Meta didn't respond for a comment. OpenAI has gone to similar lengths, paying about $6.5 billion to hire an iPhone engineer, Jony Ive, to acquire his nascent devices startup IO. So, wow. So Gross and Zuckerberg is getting a longtime entrepreneur, AI investor. Gross funded the search engine Q, which was acquired by Apple in 2013. He helped with Siri. Friedman was the co-founder of two startups before becoming the CEO of GitHub, following Microsoft's acquisition of the code-sharing platform in 2018. NFDG has backed Coinbase, Figma, CoreWeave, Perplexity. So Mark Zuckerberg's coming out as a heavy hitter here. Like he tried to buy the $32 billion startup, but now he's hiring Daniel Gross, which is crazy. So Meta's looking to become a huge player in the AI space. I'm very excited to see what they come out with. I mean, at the end of the day, this is a huge win for the user in terms of product, and it'll just bring costs down for the user. But I think this is great for companies like Meta, NVIDIA. I mean, the chip players are still going crazy with these kind of acquisitions. That's where the money is going. I mean, you saw Elon's XAI is just continuing to buy more and more chips, and they're spending. Elon said it was false, but I think the numbers has to be somewhat close in the $1 billion a month in just running XAI, which is crazy. And when you're paying that much for talent, absolutely insane. This was a fascinating story, and it's definitely going to keep my eyes on Meta. Let's go ahead and take a look at Meta stock really quick. Meta stock. Let's see how they've been looking. Meta's been, I believe, they've been doing fairly well. So, okay, this past week, so this last month up almost 10%. Let's compare it to the indices. Let's see what the Qs have done this past month really quick. Whoops. Let's see what the Qs have done this past month. Okay, the Qs over the last month, they're up 1%. Meta's up, I think, 8%. Yeah, 8%. So outpacing the indices, which Meta is it's a fairly large weight in the Qs. They definitely look like a company that is going to continue to do fairly well in the AI world, and I'm excited to keep watching them. Let's see how Nvidia has been doing this month. Nvidia, you're sitting at 7.3%. So obviously you've had the tariff drama, you've had Iran drama. So we're so close to hitting all-time highs, but I think the tension in the Middle East is definitely what's going to keep a lid on the all-time highs. I could be totally wrong. And with the 2 week things, the markets could open up green in the morning and we could hit all-time highs, or we could float it right around this area. Either way. So yeah, that's it for this video. So you can subscribe if you guys enjoyed that. Okay, so that was Mark Zuckerberg's acquisition or his attempted acquisition. Now let's see if there's anything else going on. Let's see here. Okay. Okay, this is an interesting post. Let's dive into this. Okay. Okay, so according to this post, Trump is increasingly relying on a small group of advisors for critical input as he weighs whether to order U.S. military strikes against nuclear facilities inside Iran. According to 2 defense officials and a senior administration official who spoke with NBC News. In addition, another senior administration official said Trump has been crowdsourcing with an array of allies outside the White House and in his administration about whether they think he should greenlight strikes on Iran. However, despite speaking with several outsiders, President Trump continues to make decisions with only a small handful of officials within the White House. Obviously, you want to keep this information extremely close to your chest. I mean, I just finished watching the Osama bin Laden documentary, and when President Obama was looking to make the decision whether to go after Osama bin Laden, he didn't know, because he said, this is a very risky operation. We don't know if he's actually there. We think he's there, but we don't know. It's a fascinating documentary on Netflix. I highly recommend it. Anyways, President Biden, not President Biden, why did I blank on his name? President Barack Obama said, hey, this information that you guys just shared with me is just between us 3. Nobody else knows about this information. So I imagine Trump is learning things about Iran, very specific things that are up in the air. Like, hey, Iran's like a few days. Like the last we heard is a few weeks from putting together a nuclear missile. But now Trump is not. So we heard a few weeks, but Trump may have different intel, whether that's longer or shorter, or whether he knows where they are or doesn't know where they are. I'm sure Trump, just like how Barack Obama did with the Osama bin Laden operation. Obviously, they're different levels in different situations, so I'm not trying to say they're the same magnitude, but it sounds like when the president learns something, he wants as few of people to know as possible, which is very smart from a strategical standpoint. Okay, so let's continue to dive into this. So within the White House, including Vance, Chief of Staff Susie Wiles, Chief of Staff Stephen Miller, and as well as Marco Rubio. So it doesn't say the Department of Defense is in there, which I bet he is, but it doesn't say he's in there. All while sidelining several other senior officials and advisors, such as National Intelligence Director Tulsi Gabbard, who opposes U.S. strikes against Iran, and so he is excluding his Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth. I don't know if this has anything to do with like the signal messages that got leaked. Who knows if he just can rely on Pete Hegseth's operational security. I mean, hopefully he can, the Department of Defense. Hopefully that there's no issues there. But either way, it looks like Trump still has not made a decision. We heard 2 weeks that Trump said, we heard today that Trump said he has 2 weeks. But I mean, from an operational security standpoint, you're not going to tell the press, yes, we're going to strike in 48 hours. Like, that's just not, if I, as a citizen, if the United States were to conduct an operation, not saying I'm for or against it, but if they were, I don't think the president of the United States should be like, yep, we're striking in 48 hours and completely give our hand away. So Trump's probably wise for saying 2 weeks, because he's not giving he's not giving up his timelines, which you wouldn't want to do in an operational security standpoint. So that's kind of my take on what's happening. Sounds like Trump's keeping his cards close to his chest. He's speaking with very few people, even excluding Department of Defense of senior official Pete Hegseth, which is interesting. There could be many reasons for that. I don't know if it's because Pete Hegseth has had questionable operational security in the past. I don't know. But I imagine the more comfortable Trump feels in his decision, the more he'll let people in on it. But I imagine he's getting takes from different people. I was reading that Trump was getting different takes from allies, like, "Hey, what do you guys think we should do? How would this impact you?" And so he's getting takes from different people because striking Iran or not striking Iran has different consequences. I definitely do not envy being President Trump right now. It's a very difficult decision to make. You're putting a lot of people in harm's way by striking, but you're also potentially putting a lot of people not in harm's way by not striking. If you strike too soon, it could be an issue because I know Iran has threatened. Of course, Iran would threaten this, that if the United States strikes, that they're definitely going to launch a nuclear missile. But honestly, it's all in the fog of war. It's super difficult to get the truth, and there's so much propaganda going on and so much posturing going on. But Trump has a very difficult decision to make because if he waits too long to strike and they have their hands on a nuclear missile, okay, now it's too late. Now Iran has the upper hand. So, like I said, I definitely do not envy being in Trump's situation right now. But that's kind of my take with what's going on, with what we've learned today, with the press, with the White House briefing, with what we kind of learned from this NBC report, with what's going on in the Middle East with Donald Trump. If you enjoyed, consider subscribing. Okay. All right. Let's continue to dive into everything else that we think is going on. The futures are red right now, but I don't really trust the futures because they swing green all the time. Let's see if there's anything else. Let's see. Looking. Let's see. Okay, this is interesting. Let's take a look at this. Okay. Did Tesla just leak its next product announcement? Let's go ahead and take a look. All right. So the Tesla Asia, which is an official Tesla account, said, "What should the future of transportation look like?" And you have trains and a plane. Tesla AI says planes, trains, and autonomous vehicles. So obviously, I don't know if this is like a tongue-in-cheek thing or what, but it's a cool shot of a Tesla train and a plane all in one. But definitely, you could definitely see Tesla getting into the electric, especially with all the EV stock companies going crazy, having big valuations. I think is a vertical Tesla, no pun intended. I think it is a vertical Tesla could get into. I think it's a while out. I think the regulatory risk is kind of crazy. It would be interesting to see like a partnership between SpaceX and Tesla because SpaceX has a lot of the FAA experience and Tesla has a lot of the vehicle experience. So combining the two would be super interesting. Okay, let's continue to see. Let's see. All right, let's see. Let's see if there's anything good to react to. Let me go ahead and pull up. Let me see if there's anything good to react to, and we can wrap up here. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this. If you guys enjoy it, I would appreciate a thumbs up. I can do these in the evenings, no problem. Let's see if there's anything good to react to. Let's see. Let's see. See, is there anything happening? The Philadelphia Fed Manufacturing Index is out tomorrow, but there's not too much. Let's see. Trying to see if there's anything else that we could react to. Let me go ahead and pull this up really quick. Let's see here. Okay, so no, not seeing anything quite yet to react to. I'll be a little more prepared last time and kind of do reactions at the end. Not seeing a ton to react to. I'll give it one more look. Let's see if there's anything. Let's see if there's any other big news stories going on. Okay, so we talked a lot about Trump. Hopefully my audio is still coming in okay. Let me do a quick audio check. Let me make sure that's coming in okay. Let's see here. Yep, we're good. All right, sweet. So let's see if there's anything else. So we talked about Trump's decision within the next 2 weeks. We talked about Meta's acquisition and how they're ramping up their AI. Those videos will come out on the channel later if you missed that, or you can skip back, whatever works for you. Let's see if there's anything else going on. Obviously, the Middle East thing is going to be impactful for both markets, and it's just going to dominate news. Um, so we had the Tesla SpaceX rocket. Meet Kevin did a good video on that. Encourage you guys to go watch that. I'm trying to see if there's anything else that I think that we haven't covered today that would impact markets tomorrow. I might try to do one thing while I'm live here. It might take me a second, but let's see if there's a good Tesla video we can react to. I wanted to see. No, I don't have anything off I usually have good stuff to react to off the top of my head, but I don't right now. I want to see if I can show you guys something. Okay, let me see if I can sign into this really quick because I think this will be cool if you guys wanted to kind of track with me how I'm doing. I think it's kind of fun. Okay, okay, I totally forgot this, but I want to show you guys because I think you guys will like it. Let's see. Can I log in like that? No, I can't. Okay, I might have to do this next time. But I wonder if I can I present? Here, let me, oh, I can't do that. Gosh dang it. Dang it, I want to show you guys something. Let me see. Anyways. Okay, I don't see too much. Let me do another quick glance over the news, business. Let me do one more quick glance and see if there's anything I can add perspective to. We saw China maintain rates. Oh, we talked about the Tesla. We can talk about it one more time. Okay. So I might do another quick recap on what's going on with the Tesla robo taxis. Let's see. Okay, let's see if I can find this for you. Okay, here we go. Let's do another recap of this Tesla news that's coming out. I don't think it would be a big deal, but we can keep you guys caught up. Okay, so let me go ahead and share this, and let me share the screen with you guys. Is Tesla's let me see. Let me restart this. Guys. Give me a break. Let me see. Okay. Is Tesla's June 22nd robotaxi rollout in trouble? Let's go ahead and dive into it. So Texas lawmakers are passing a new law coming September 1st that kind of sets some new rules for autonomous vehicles operating in Austin, Texas. However, Tesla's planning to launch June 22nd. So Texas Austin sent out this letter. They're like, hey, you guys, let me go ahead and pull up this letter for you guys. But they're like, hey, you guys should hold off until September 1st. But then Tesla's like, but bro, we've been wanting to launch this since we've been trying to announce this for like the last 5 years, and it's finally time. And you're telling us we have to wait. In the grand scheme of things, it wouldn't be that much longer. But let's go and take a look at this. So Texas sent out this letter to Tesla, well, to everybody, and Tesla says that the last sentence reads, Tesla can proceed with the June 22nd launch if it responds to this letter with detailed information demonstrating that Tesla will be compliant with the new law upon launch of driverless operations in Austin. So we can go ahead and take a look at Tesla's kind of stock reaction. I believe this came out on yesterday, Wednesday, maybe not though. But Tesla, I mean, they were up 1.8% yesterday, so not a big deal. They're down 0.23%. Honestly, not a huge deal. But let me go ahead and give you my take on this. Tesla absolutely should play ball with Texas lawmakers. They're incorporated in Texas. They should just play ball and be nice. At the end of the day, they have a plan. They have a roadmap. They should share it with Texas. And they should obviously keep it confidential until launch, which hopefully it would. If it got leaked, that'd be kind of a bummer just from Tesla's POV. But honestly, if they're going to play in this autonomous world, they know they're getting into a world of new regulation and new things are going to happen. There's going to be some starting, there's going to be some stopping. So, two options: play ball, play nice, give them your plan for the June 22nd launch, and that way you don't have to delay it again. Or you can go ahead and start September 1st along with everybody else. I think it'd be better if Tesla just went June 22nd and played ball with Texas and said, hey, we'll play nice with you guys. Thank you guys for letting us start operating in this city. That's what I think this should happen. This isn't a danger to any kind of large thing. If you're a Tesla investor, listen up. This is going to be a very common occurrence. You're going to have lawmakers start and stop. You're going to have them pause, green light, the robo-taxi service in every state all over the country. You still have states in the country that don't allow direct deliveries of vehicles, which is absolutely crazy. I know Texas had a slow start to that. I don't know if that's still the case in Texas, but there are going to be regulatory things. That's always been part of Tesla's story. And especially when it comes to autonomous vehicles, there are going to be regulatory hurdles to overcome when it comes to robo-taxis. But the good news is it looks like we're just right around the corner. At the time of this recording, it's June 19th, so just a few days away from June 22nd. That is supposed to be the launch of Tesla's robo-taxi service. We don't know too much yet. We've seen some leaked images, some leaked videos. Everything looks great. Looks like there's some follow cars. Looks like there's people in the passenger seat. The more cautious, the better, because the worst thing we need is in the first week, Tesla hits somebody and boom, now they're suspended all over the country until more regulation comes out. That'd be the worst case. Do I think that's going to happen? No, I don't think that's going to happen. But if you're a Tesla investor, you need to be careful in terms of like everything's going, like valuation is going to go crazy. You're going to start to see a lot of start, stop when it comes to regulation per state. So just like we've seen slow rollout with Tesla insurance, not every state has it yet. Some states are going to take longer than others when it comes to adopting autonomous vehicles. So that's definitely something to consider. But if you guys enjoyed this, consider subscribing. Okay. Okay. So that was my take on the Tesla robotaxi drama. Let's see if there's anything else. Let's see. You've been live for about 45 minutes. I'm going to have to hop off here in a minute. We talked about the password leaks. I don't think there's too many things. We talked about the Middle East. Okay, the US added 1,000 new millionaires a day in 2024. That's kind of a crazy article. We can cover that later. Okay, let's take one more look at the technology section and see if there's anything else that's happening. No, I think we pretty much covered all the news tonight. Hey, if you guys enjoyed this, consider subscribing. I would really appreciate it. I'd like to do lives in the evening to kind of talk about my opinions on different companies, different stocks, different things like that. Just my take, my opinion. I just want to have fun with it and continue to share kind of my life and my journey, my take with you guys. If you guys enjoyed it, consider subscribing, leave a like, leave a comment. I appreciate everybody. Hey there, Kyle. But yeah, I appreciate everybody for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. And like always, see you next time. Thanks for watching.